Hey everybody, Michael Wilson Everard here. Want to talk today about when we get stuck. So, what does that mean? Well, sometimes we get stuck. We find ourselves in a place where we're not sure what we're supposed to do next, basically. So, what I like to do is become present. I always start at my 0 point. Pretty much with everything, because that's where we get connected to the source. That's where we can find peacefulness. That's where we have fun playing with our our dog pals. So I start at my 0 point, and I listen to my feelings. I always use my feelings as my guide. So I think it was yesterday that we were talking about recognizing friction, and not letting that turn into painful suffering. So that holds, all of that holds true. The other thing, though, that I wanted to point out is that if we chase bliss, or if we chase, what we think will make us happy, we're going to run into some similar problems. We're going to basically become addicted to things. This is what happens with drugs and alcohol and gambling. It can happen with people that are adrenaline junkies. All things in moderation, folks. Really, anything in large enough quantities can be toxic, including water. So if you drink too much water, you will cause your body to have problems. What I like to do is I listen to my feelings. So typically I will assess a feeling as either positive or negative, and that is still basically a thought form that I'm still attached to. I catch myself, though, more often than not with the negative aspect, and I alter that judgment or that assessment to simply mean it's time for me to slow down and realize that there's a lesson waiting for me in that experience. So if I want to become more aware, I proceed without judgment. If I want to remain at the level of awareness that I am, then I'll ignore that feeling, that experience, whatever, and become disengaged. So every time I get reconnected, I very simply become more aware. Okay? And what happens, though, with awareness is if you are paying attention and you are aware that, for example, something that might be causing you to feel pleasure in excess might be affecting other people. So this is what awareness is all about. It's not just what is happening to you, it's how what you are doing affects other people. So this is what it's all about, folks. We just want to become more aware, okay? More aware of everything. So what I do is I listen. I pay attention. I'm always assessing how I perceive things. And if I recognize that my for example, that my consciousness is oscillating at a faster rate, but I'm disregarding how I'm coming across, then I'll get reminders. Okay, people will let me know. They'll say, "Hey, Mike, why are you doing X, Y, and Z?" Or why are you not listening to me, or whatever. And then I pay attention, and I take notes. I take mental notes, and I readjust what I'm focusing on. So when it comes to pleasure, we are supposed to enjoy things as they come up, but we're not really guided to continue to seek that. That's when we form attachments. This is basically what the Buddha taught us, is that when you become attached to something, that turns into a desire, and desire is a form of suffering. I was stuck in a paradox for years with the notion that, okay, well, if I'm supposed to be free of attachment and desire, then is that not a desire? So I readjusted my thinking to better understand and comprehend what that is all about. So what I've come to know is that any attachment can lead to a form of suffering, and it's usually fear-based. So if we take, for example, a look at the idea of being damned for eternity in hell, our souls will be damned, that's a scary thought. So what I do know is that God loves us unconditionally, and the only way to experience that is by creating that in our heads. Creating our own hells is what we do. So when we, for example, feel pleasure, let's say with drugs, we get super high, we love the feeling, and some of us, myself included, experience pleasure more intensely than other people. So then we get addicted to that feeling, and we chase that feeling, and we never get that original rush back. So it's a fool's errand to chase anything, and that includes happiness. I know that sounds a little contrary to maybe what you've been taught, but step back, become aware that, first of all, it's okay to enjoy life. Enjoy anything that comes your way. What you don't want to do is get attached to that feeling, because what you have not yet experienced is peaceful serenity. So the reason why I can say that is because my own experience was that very issue. Once I found serenity, even seeking that, like let's say through meditation, people will do the breathing, and they'll focus on their breathing, and then they'll find moments of that non-existent, that non-being peacefulness. Well, even though it's okay to enjoy that, you're not supposed to chase even that. So all of these things kind of seem to contradict themselves, but the underlying truth of everything is to simply be. Recognize that everything that comes your way is meant for you. Everything that you are experiencing is a gift. the gift of the eternal now is really all that we ever have. I believe I was speaking about time yesterday, and that I think I even made the statement that time is all that we really have. Well, in a sense, that's true, but not time in a linear sense. I'm talking about time in an eternal sense, and I'm talking about infinity. We have in an infinite amount of time in the form of the present moment, or the true now, that allows us to create our reality however we wish. And we have linear time to cause friction, to slow us down, so that we may experience whatever it is that we create. And that's the blessing. That's the gift. God's presence is felt through our soul in the eternal now, and we can achieve that wherever, whenever, and however we are. So what we are here to do is live our life for God, through God, and continue the conversation. The message is one of love. God loves us. Always have. Always will. And it's that simple. So every time we get confused or angry or frustrated, we are misunderstanding the message. We're misunderstanding God. So don't get angry. Just ask more questions. Because you're not getting angry with God. You're getting angry with yourself for not understanding or not realizing what it is that you're supposed to learn. So forgive yourself. Acknowledge that everything you've ever done was meant for you to become who and what you are. Being kind to others is a good start, but if you're kind to others and you're not kind to yourself, then you're only prolonging the inevitable, which is a return to what you are, a return to the one, the original awareness that created you, loves you, and is you. All right, people. I love you guys, and encourage you to ask more questions. You can email me, everardmusic@gmail.com. My Instagram is @everardmusic. My YouTube channel is Everard Music, and then I'm working on a website. It's going to be michaeleverard.com. So feel free to continue the conversation, exchange ideas. Everybody knows something. Whatever it is that you know, share it. Why not? All right, folks. I love you guys. Peace. Namaste.